ever get that thing where you walk in a room and forget why you walked in there? So I suppose it'll come to me in a minute. So I'm feeling quite pleased with myself. A couple of weeks ago, I finally, after a month of hard work, toil, dedication, finally managed to baby-proof my flat. And it's worked out quite nice. I've done it on a budget. I'm very happy with how it's turned out. What I've done is I've wrapped the bottom half of all my furniture in barbed wire, and now none of my friends want to bring the noisy fucking kids round. It's great. I'm glad you like that. That went down well. I'm quite pleased with the result. I'd like to be a little more intimate with you tonight, but I need some assurances. So I'm going to share some deep, dark secrets, some of my real personal history with you, and I need to know that when you leave here, you can keep your fucking mouth shut. Can you do that for me? That's good enough. So I've got a couple of confessions to make. When training to be a performer, I was told that I need to win the audience over, exude confidence. I can't lie to you, I'm terrified. I'm just explaining the smell to the front row. That's fear. Fear is running down my leg. Someone will mop it up, I'm sure. Excuse me. Apologies. Where are my manners? Introductions. So, my name is Ian Pesquier. And not a lot of people know that, with good reason. Growing up's hard, isn't it? Yeah, it's made even harder with an unusual surname. Got some right shit from the kids at school for my name. It's horrific. It still haunts me to this day. I've been walking down the corridors and I'd hear the chants like pet sick. Not very nice, is it? Biscuit, it's a bit more friendly. It's a bit more acceptable. Piss tech, that was my fucking gym teacher. He had a point. Pet shit. And knobhead. Some of the less imaginative members of my class not wanting to miss out on the fun. Growing up without my dad about as well, that weren't easy. I had no one to give me the talk. The birds and the bees. I heard people talking about it, but I didn't know what they were on about, and I knew I needed some information, so I thought, well, where am I going to get this? And I thought, okay, birds, bees, nature, cool. So I go out and have a little look. And I see how bees operate in the wild, and I see one bee, a drone. One of them took down Gatwick recently. That was mental, wasn't it? And I see it take pollen from one plant to another, pollinates, it helps it to reproduce. I thought, okay, how's that apply? It's like me running around the streets with a handful of my own jizz, throwing it at people like multiple migs out of Silence of the Lambs. That shit's going to get me nicked again. I thought, that can't be right, man. And then I realised that was a good metaphor for IVF. I thought, okay, well, some of the pieces are coming together now. And I thought that wasn't enough for me. I needed a bit more because I've seen some videos. I want to have me some fun. So I have a closer look at the inner workings of a hive, and I see a female queen take 100, maybe 1,000 lovers in a lifespan and give birth to 10,000 offspring. And I thought, I know some families like that on my estate. It's all starting to make sense to me now. And so I'm 37 now, and I never thought I'd live this long. I had a midlife crisis at 14. Now, getting with a girl half your age at that stage in life's not applicable. So I went out and got a really big fucking skateboard. And I grew up in a tin pot town in the middle of nowhere. It used to be a one-horse town, but the locals melted it down for glue to sniff. Whatever gets you through the day. They even had a tin pot to keep it in. That was handy, wasn't it? And I was out one day on my skateboard, knocking kids and buses flying, and I had a sobering thought after the glue wore off. I thought, I don't know anybody who's left this town not on a Group 4 bus. That's not good, man. I'm doomed to go to prison. I'm too pretty for prison. Don't look at me like that. And around that time, I found drugs, and any heroin users in? Yeah, it's always the quiet ones. You hear a lot of bad press about drugs. It's demonised every day in this war on drugs, the media. But I learned a lot from taking drugs. Cannabis was brilliant. I remember sitting there blazing away, getting this real sense of achievement and basking with this real self-esteem boost, just thinking about all the good shit I'm going to do tomorrow. And ketamine was great. It's a mind-expanding moment. Secrets of the universe unlocked and presented to me on the plate. Also taught me about diligent record keeping, because I couldn't remember none of the fucker when it wore off. Cocaine taught me how to do fuck all, but really fast. Heroin taught me about determination, grit, and steel. Steel, I had to do that a lot, because that shit's expensive. So I find myself in prison, and if you listen to these Daily Mail readers, they're going to tell you, prison's too good for them. They get 3 meals a day and a TV in the cell. And that's all well and good. But the food shit is fuck all on. So you go through the monotony of prison, And trust me, it's dull as fuck. I wanted to do a whole routine about it, but like, unless you like brutality and non-consensual sex, you would not like the set that I'd come out with. So I'm going to move swiftly on past that. And you get out of prison, you want to better yourself, you want to move forward with your life. And everyone's trying to drag you back all the time. It's horrific. And they're coming out with that same question, everyone you meet. They're like, well, what were you in for? What were you in for? And I got tired of it. So now I just give them the same answer. I say, killing the last nosy cunt that asked me that. What really baffles them at that point is not the threat of immediate physical violence, them trying to figure out I've been sent down for a crime I've not yet committed. That's something I know. Hold on, I've lost a few of you. You'll get it about 3 a.m. I'll get my number, you can text me an LOL. I've been single for a few months now, and I went through a pretty tough breakup. You know, I was with this girl for a few years, and I mean, reflectively, we didn't start off great. You know, there was a lot of differences between us. She was a big fan of text speech, and that does my fucking head in. And it got worse when she started screaming OMG in bed. It could have been worse, lol. And then like putting the onus back on me again, you know. I mean, I'm a bit clumsy at the best of times, and I was a bit clumsy in bed. During foreplay, I'm all fingers and thumbs. So, you know, we'd started a life together, and we was going to have kids and all this other shit that I didn't really want to do, but she was talking me around and holding me to it. But by the end of it all, after we'd broke up, I was just left with one question. Who gets custody of the sex toys? Because I paid for the fucking things, so anyway, I get to keep them. But then what do? Because, I mean, I've not consulted anybody, but it feels a bit improper taking them into the next one. I thought, well, I don't want her to use them with her new fella. She can fuck off. So what I did is I've smashed them all up and I left them on the bed. She can go fuck herself. And I don't like single life because, you know, the screaming in my head just never fucking stops. And I did a lot of bad stuff about these dating sites. I thought, well, I don't want to do that then. So then what am I left with? And so I went on the internet and I thought, well, I'll get one of these mail order type brides. It looks promising enough. And it's been a few months now and she's still not arrived. So I sent an email off to the company and sadly, they'd forgot to put ear rolls in a crate and she died in transit. Rest in peace, mailing. I barely knew you. And so through the breakup and through the loss of mailing, I'd had enough. And so I decided to write a will. And I left everything I owned to a local cats home. About $5,000 in debt, because fuck cats. After exhaustive research in my tool shed, I can categorically tell you today that cats do not have 9 lives. And there are 17 ways to skin one. I'm just bringing you the facts. That's all. Yeah, and so through all that, I ended up in counselling. And after some very intense sessions, I finally got a diagnosis. I'm an insomniac, kleptomaniac with coprophilic tendencies. And what that means is I got tired of taking other people's shit. That wasn't an easy joke to write because I can't spell. Thank you. You can come with me on tour, mate, yeah? I also learned that narcolepsy is an STI, which makes sense because every time I have sex I get a little bit sleepy. Okay, so I like to leave you on a more positive note now. Give you a message of hope, humility and compassion. I was at work the other day and one of my colleagues, he said, you know, we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Maybe that means we should listen more and talk less. And I said, yeah, that's a very interesting point, Colin. But being as you've got 2 legs and 1 head, maybe you should think less and fuck off. He didn't like that. He found it a bit impolite. So I says, well, okay, fuck off, please. And so now I'm going to fuck off. Please applaud loudly. You never know who's listening. Thank you very much.